I'd like to go ahead and call to order the Richland County Recreation Commission's monthly meeting for September 16th, 2024. I'd like to go ahead and get a motion to adopt the agenda.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes. Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
Motion approved.
I think that I need to have somebody make a motion to amend the executive session to discuss travel policy for the upcoming convention.
Chair Rob, I'll make a motion to make, to discuss policy number 1068 in executive session.
Second.
Mr. Chair. Mass represents legal advice that relates to such policy.
Yes, sir. So moved on that or?
Yes, I'll just clarify.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so the motion will relate to legal policy. Is there a second?
Yeah, second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yep.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay. So if there was some action to be taken, that would happen after the executive session when there'd be actions, I guess. Okay, I just making sure we have this agenda down right. Okay. All right, so can I go ahead and get a motion to adopt the minutes from our July 15th, 2024 meeting?
I make a motion to adopt the minutes.
Approve the minutes.
Sorry. Approved. I don't have my glasses on.
Second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey, Commissioner Mobley. Motion approved.
That was kind of a mean adopt person. You know, we all make mistakes, right? All right. Do we have any public input?
We do not have any public input for tonight's meeting.
Darn it. All right. Next, let's move to the financial report with Ryan and Zan.
Good evening, Chair Levine, members of the Commission Board. I'd like to begin tonight by providing you with an update on the General and Enterprise Fund financials for the period July 1, 2024 through August 31st, 2024. Total revenues for the general fund for the 2-month period were $1.3 million compared to $927,000 this time last year. Represents an increase of approximately $373,000 or 40% increase. Property tax revenue was consistent with prior year figures through the first 2 months of the year. I do want to remind the board that RCRC's overall property tax allocation did, however, increase for fiscal year 25. The chief driver for that increase to revenues was grant revenues. It's up this time last year as we received funding for the Hopkins Pool project at the beginning of the fiscal year. Program revenues for the 2-month period were $227,000 compared to $160,000 this time last year, represents approximately $67,000 increase or 42%. Athletics and youth camp revenue were the largest driver for the increase, as volume was up from the prior year. General fund expenditures for this period were 3.1 million compared to 1.8 million this time last year. Represents approximately 72% increase or 1.3 million. The biggest driver for this increase would be salaries and fringe for a number of reasons. Chief being longevity pay was taken care of at the end of July. We also had the impact of the COLA increase that was put into effect last January. We had increased seasonal hires to meet volume increases, and we also had filled vacancies that chiefly the executive director position, the CIO, and one of our deputy positions was unfilled at the beginning of last fiscal year. Capital improvement expenses were up from this time last year, and that's largely due to the Hopkins Pool project and the final payment for the parking lot projects at Meadow Lake and Kaufman Road. In addition, IT expenses are up, and this is largely due to security upgrades that were made at the beginning of the fiscal year. Enterprise fund revenues for the period were approximately 208,000 compared to 205,000 this time last year. Represents approximately $3,000 increase or 1.4%. The largest driver for this increase was pro shop sales and rentals. Enterprise fund expenditures for the period was 180,000 compared to 123,000 this time last year. Represents approximately 46% increase or $57,000. Again, salaries and fringe was the largest contributor to this increase, and it's largely due to longevity payment that was made at the end of July. Additionally, capital outlay has increased from the beginning of fiscal year 24. We had a planned purchase for a range cart, and that happened in August. Are there any questions?
Can you, like, not getting too much into the weeds, but explain the IT upgrades
Sure.
that you guys, that we did?
Yeah, so that would have been like the improvements to the firewall that took place at the beginning of the year. It would have also included some of the outsourcing of IT support to Gregory Technologies.
Any other questions? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, no unfinished business, no new business. Let's go to other business with the executive director report.
Good afternoon. I have a few project updates since July. We didn't meet last month, so we got a few things we want to show you all how busy the staff has been in property management, get some things taken care of. Hopkins Pool construction started on Hopkins Pool August 26th. We started back. We had to change contractors. We got new contractors out there going with Hammer Construction. We're expected to have completed this project by January of 2025. Moving forward, you can see all of these updates on the website. If you go to our About Us tab, click on the project list. Every week we'll be updating all of the projects that's going on specifically at Hopkins Pool. Denny Terrace Gym. We installed some new windows in the front of the building. That's the Hopkins Park Pool. Denny Terrace Gym, we installed some new windows in the front of the building. So now you guys can see inside of the facility. We replaced the carpet in the lobby with tile in the lobby area and the office area as well. We added curbing at the bottom of the parking lot. to help with the overflow of debris. And we also installed a paved pathway that goes from the parking lot to the walking trail for accessibility for those that who could possibly have a handicap or disability. At Serenity Park, we're now taking some time to address our outdoor facilities.
Before you go to Smith, go back to Denny.
Yes, sir.
Is the sheriff department still in there?
Yes, sir. We're gonna discuss that in executive session.
Okay.
Yes, sir. At Serenity Park, as I stated, now we're addressing some of our outdoor parks that was in that desire need to be addressed. We added two new benches at Serenity Park. The bridge were reinforced and renovated to allow accessibility across the little creek. And we also repaired the gazebo by repairing the floors, the fencing around the gazebo and repainted it. So the park is now up to great usage for that community. Summit Hill Park is another outdoor facility. Last couple months ago, we addressed the basketball courts, added new goals. This time we came back, put a new roof on the picnic shelter, renovated some dry rotted wood and repainted the picnic shelter as well. Lastly, Friars Gate and Piney Grove Community Centers, we installed new security cameras. As I mentioned, every month, we're going to continue to prioritize our security camera for the safety of our staff and our patrons in our facilities. Have a few agency updates. As some of you know, we was having a hard time getting a liquor liability policy for Lyric Golf Course. Fortunately, we brought in a new risk manager, Ms. Sampson. She was able to find us a liability policy for Lyric, and now they can continue to sell alcoholic beverages to help with revenue up there at Lyric. So kudos to Ms. Sampson for doing such a great job with that. Some health and wellness updates. The executive staff, myself and my two deputies, we met with Coroner Nadia Rutherford to collaborate on some community initiatives. The first event will be held October the 8th at Ballantyne Community Center, where she will be the guest speaker. The topic will be the power of having a will and the steps to prepare for the future. It'll be designated to our senior population to assist them with wills, trusts, and other things that they can have difficult dealing with during this tenure of their life. Lastly, open enrollment, human resources staff held an open enrollment training this past Wednesday with our leadership team. We will have our annual quarterly meeting for all full-time staff will be October 2nd from 10 to 1 here at Doug Activity Center to ensure that our staff can make any changes to their benefits. If they have any questions or they want to change something or keep something, we will have some vendors on site as well. The HR department will have 7 different dates, including the weekend, where staff could come at different facilities along with some loved ones. They have some things that they can't quite understand. They could bring a loved one with them that can understand any changes to their policies for life insurance, Humana, Aflac, anything of that nature. So Ms. Brittany and the HR staff, we're really trying to open enrollment this year and kind of ensure that all our full-time staff can feel the benefits of our open enrollment. That concludes my report, unless you all have any questions or concerns for myself.
Okay, Lars, I don't know if all the commissioners know, but you said that the pool is gonna be completed at Hopkins January of 2025, right?
Yes, sir.
The reason being that we thought we'd be done by now, but you had a problem with that.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know.
Mr. Cooper, can you stand and address that for me, please? Mr. Cooper, he is pretty much taking over this project for us at Hopkins, and he was able to find a lot of things that wasn't properly right the first time, so I will let him address that.
Good evening.
Great.
So with Hopkins Park Pool Project, as Mr. Lewis indicated earlier, there was some issues that we had with the initial contractor, and we finally got those resolved. In fact, we entered into a different contractor in agreement. So he did get started in August. and timeline to complete will be sometime late December, early January of 2025. Currently, they've completed demolition of the pool decking, the interior renovation. They started working on that as well. They're doing the rough ends for the plumbing in the pool house and other fixtures. And they're also working on the shelter that will be installed, the picnic shelter.
Thank you.
Now, the contractor is a different contractor or the same contractor with a different contract?
It's a different contractor. We entered into a new contract with a different contractor.
To ensure that we know how sensitive this project was prior in the past, and you all kind of went through that. We had to ensure that we got a contract in place that was gonna make this project a priority, not put it on the back burner. The first contractor, he went through the bids, did everything correctly, but he didn't make us a priority. He started on the project and then for 2 months just went ghost. We couldn't get in touch with him. We just see him, couldn't hear from him, kind of gave us the runaround. So we retained a legal counsel to do what we needed to do. He submitted all our materials. We was on site, Mr. Cooper, myself, and the procurement manager was on site to make sure everything was delivered as he stated. We also will be receiving some funding back from him as well in the next couple of weeks. But we had to make sure that this project was done completely and done right. So we didn't want to do it and then at the end you all get the complaints, then I'll get the complaints. So we know it's a sensitive project. The community deserves to have a pool. Unfortunately, it's going to be pushed off until December or January for it to be completely done, and then we'll figure out some type of re-grand opening to ensure that the public can come out and see it, and then we'll plan accordingly in the spring and the summer for usage.
Can you remind me
Now,
the
it
original
was-
expected opening date of it?
The original completion date, we should have opened in September,
Okay.
right? Because it's technically it was about an 8 to 10 week project. But when we got the delays, they pushed it back, and then we had to go through DHEC, get new permits, new paperwork and all that stuff done. And that took about 4 weeks to get most of that stuff done. So now you go down weekly, Mr. Cooper and his staff, they have a weekly meeting on site. This new contractor have did more in 2 weeks than the other guy did in 2 months. So as you see on the PowerPoint, every week it will be updated on what we be doing. So it's gonna be a nice facility. Once they get done with it, we'll start it probably in October, ordering some furniture and stuff for it. We'll keep you guys updated every month on it. But if anybody question your concerns, you can have them address me or Mr. Cooper, or go to our website, go to the About Us tab, go to projects, and every week you will see the project updated on it with new pictures and description of what's happening down there. So we will be transparent about the project. We're not gonna hide from it. Things happen all the time with contractors, but we had to make sure that we put out a good product to the Hopkins community.
James, did you have?
Yeah, I'm kind of happy that you did what you did, man, because I was getting calls about the project and somebody told me that it was all over social media.
It was.
And then when this I'll tell you, when this reporter called me, I told him I had no idea. And I didn't. So it's good that you said you're gonna keep us updated with what's
Yes, sir.
going on. I'm happy that you're gonna do that. And that way, we don't have to worry about what's going on. We already know what you done told us.
Yes, sir. Now, we spoke to the media, our PIO, Mr. Crawford, met with the media over the phone, gave her an interview. We released a statement to the public, and we stand behind it.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Kevin. Community Relations Report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Bear with us. We had a lengthy, I have a lengthy report we cover in 2 months, so just bear with us. The Hawaiian Luau took place at the Park Lane Adult Activity Center on Friday, July 26th, in which 60 seniors attended. On Tuesday, July 30th, the Ballantyne Community Center hosted a hot dog and ice cream social. During the month of August, we hosted numerous back to school and national night events. In total, we had over 1,200 participants throughout all events covering all 4 districts agency-wide. Saturday, August 10th, kids participated in the Charlotte Hornets Skills and Drills Camp hosted by the Richland County Recreation Foundation at St. Andrews Park. On Monday, August 19th, the Love Yourself Health Affair took place at the Park Lane Adult Activity Center. And on Friday, August 30th, over 70 seniors came together for the all-white affair at the Garners Ferry Adult Activity Center. Thursday, September 5th, Richland County Recreation Commission hosted Women's Self Care Day at the North Springs Community Center. And 2 days later, on the 7th, various staff participated in our Service Saturday at the Harvest Hope Food Bank. Last week, from September 9th through the 13th, we celebrated our 37th annual Midlands Area Senior Games. Over 150 plus seniors 50 and older participated in a wide range of sports, including track and field, bowling, and golf, just to name a few. Also on Monday, September 9th, the Richland County Recreation Foundation, alongside the USC men's basketball team, came together to host the ARC After School pop-up held at Polo Road Park. And this past Saturday, September the 14th, Richland County Recreation Foundation hosted the Powering Hearts and Minds 5K Run and Walk and Kids Fun Run. You guys can see the foundation is busy. In addition to the 14th, staff and citizens joined the Pine Grove Rosenwald History and Enrichment Program, in which the program teaches the history of the Rosenwald School and also presents various topics to enrich the lives of youth to promote self-worth. Youth have also been taught about the importance of their community to invest in their community. And our park of the month for September is Blythewood Park. We do ask that everybody line up in the front. We'll take photos in the front instead of on the side. And thank you to park staff, Ms. E, Mr. Brandon Lowry, and Mr. Michael Myers. Y'all stay here. And the community center of the month is Pine Grove Community Center. Thank you to Ms. Phyllis Shear, Ms. Deborah Tucker Brown, and Mr. Anthony Kelly. Stay right here. And in conclusion, our upcoming events are as follows. On September 18th, bingo and spaghetti luncheon at Newcastle Trenum Acres Community Center. On September 20th, Haraz Casino Day Trip. Seniors will be leaving from the Park Lane Adult Activity Center. Also September 20th, we have our 4th annual Senior Field Day at Garner's Ferry Sports Complex. On the 21st, we have a Community Health and Wellness Fair at Eastover Park. Also on the 21st, we have our yard sale at Park Lane Adult Activity Center. On the 26th, we have our senior program interest meeting at Blythewood Park. Also on the 26th, we have a farmer's market field trip at Parent Thomas Community Center. Again, on the 26th, we have Let's Sip and Chat at Gaston Park Community Center. On the 27th, we have our Power and Pink at Gardeners Ferry at Adult Activity Center. On the 28th, we have Arc Fall Art Fun at Crane Forest Neighborhood Park. On October the 2nd, we have our Fall Candle Making event at Ballantyne Community Center. October 5th, our yard sale at Garner's Ferry Adult Activity Center. October 6th, we have Unity in the Community Basketball Tournament at Eastover Park. October 8th, we have a Health and Wellness Lunch and Learn at Ballantyne Community Center. And that concludes Community Relations Report. There are no questions or concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to make sure that all of the commissioners get a copy of the events.
Yes, ma'am.
The
Most
new events that are coming available.
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
I'd like a
ma'am.
copy of it.
Yes, ma'am. We'll get you a copy.
All those copies.
Thank you.
Will do.
All those copies.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it.
I would like to say thank you to our director, Mr. Taurus Lewis, and to all of you guys. On the 31st of August in Hopkins, they sponsored a quail festival. And we were trying to figure out what events that we could have out there, because all they were going to do was just sell quail and send people home. And that's not a festival to me. That's just a sale of quail. And so in 2 weeks before the event, I called Mr. Lewis and asked him, you know, if he could help us out with the chair volleyball. We didn't have any equipment. And so when I called him, he said, sure, Mr. Anderson, which every time I call him, he's always available to help, which I appreciate that so much. But he ended up getting a couple of teams together as well. He got Park Lane, got Garner's Ferry to come out there. We had the Youth Challenge. They had a male team, female team. St. John's even had a team out there. And the event was so good that now St. John's wants to get a chair volleyball team.
And that's and that's me.
And that
I
was
run them.
and that was, it was so profound.
Yes.
That, you know, even the for Park Lane, I appreciate Park Lane so much and Garner's Ferry. But Park Lane, they understood that it was teams out there that really didn't know how to play chair volleyball. And so they were doing more instructions on how to play. But then when them kids got a hold of it, them kids gave them a run for their money. But Park Lane ended up putting out. So I just want to say thank you guys for all that you do. And Mr. Lewis says it a lot. He can't do it by himself. He has a good team. And we see the motivation. We see the improvement. We see everything that you guys are doing. Man, this is like a whole new organization. And just keep up the good work. Thank you guys so much.
Also, I'd like to tap onto that. The health fair was very successful. It was so large over here, you couldn't find a parking space. The all-white party was sold out. The senior games, it was just, they were just so excited. It was over 150 people participating. And I mean, these seniors showed out. And a lot of the senior ladies, they could shoot basketball better than some of the men. I mean, it was really a competitive, and they enjoyed it so. And the staff, they had all of the first timers to stand up, and it was, I forgot how many first timers we had, but they said they were definitely coming back next year and bringing someone else. So, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better staff. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to get on it too, home because you don't grew on me.
That's why I'm raining outside.
When you grow me, you done grew me. Yes, you did. You grew up me. I called you, you took care of that. I gave you a situation when I called you. You took care of the situation right then. You know, you made the people happy. I'm happy for that, man. That's how you do it.
Yes, sir.
It's like I've been telling everybody when I came up here, I judge people by their actions, not what you tell me. I judge you by your actions. You got your actions is what you need to be.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
good.
That's probably the nicest comments I've heard. Well, I don't mean it, I didn't mean it to come out like that. I mean, they were nice, but I meant positive from everybody here, not just, James is great. But Chris and
I got eyes.
Hans, everybody saying stuff it's what it's all about. So our staff should be thrilled. And I think that James's comments, our actions speak louder than words. And I think that's a testament to everybody here. The parks that have won the awards this week and everybody. So hopefully we'll go into executive session, get this over with quickly and be back out here. So thank you very much.
I make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, we're gonna come out of executive session, no votes or actions were taken. We make an amendment, do we make a vote to go out of,
A motion to go out of executive session.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
A second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
yes,
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
Motion approved.
all right, so items that were discussed in executive session, we'll go ahead, and somebody will make motions for those two items.
I'll make a motion to approve the lease.
Resolution authorizing the lease,
Yes.
that one.
For Denny Terrace.
Read that.
Second.
Hold on.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution authorizing the lease of real property and improvements through the execution and delivery of a lease agreement and other matters relating thereto.
Second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes,
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
Motion approved.
all right, we had amended the agenda. Is there another motion?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, I move that we amend the travel policy to establish a maximum of $1,000 per event in reimbursement for car rental expenses for business or educational training events attended by a commissioner.
Second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yep,
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley. Motion approved.
all right, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey, Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
Motion approved. Meeting adjourned.